Happy Thursday, you beautiful babies. We're taking a break from my usual kind of broadcast of trying hard and being mediocre at games that I still crave being good at, to showcase a board game made by my friend Cena, who's on air right now. First of all, say hi, Cena.
Hello, everyone.
Cena made an amazing board game called the Imposter Kings. I'm on the website right now. Cena did not pay me at all to do this. I, in fact, demanded Cena. I cornered him on our Discord server and demanded he come on live so we can talk about the game. We can play it. And we're going to be able to play a little bit in Tabletop Simulator. And then we're going to conclude with me providing a quote that will load up on this very beautiful website. I'm very excited, Cena. So, Cena, first of all, introduce yourself.
Yeah, of course. Hi, I'm Cena, or Sinbu. I wanted to kickstart a game, basically wondering whether I could make something out of a prototype to see if I could create a card game that minimizes the amount of luck. Sean, you were just talking about luck. It's a lot of games have to have luck in order to create variability. So I wanted to just create a simple game where all you have to do is play a card that's equal or higher value, but each card has an ability, and that's essentially the whole gist of the game. And you're supposed to use these abilities to kind of formulate a plan, and based on the cards you don't have, your opponent likely has them, and so that's where the taking away the luck comes in, and trying to formulate a plan and attack that. So.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, it is a card game, so by virtue of being a card game, there's always going to be like shuffles and some randomness that occurs.
Exactly.
But this game, Cena made a Kickstarter for it. It raised enough to get kickstarted. It is made. I mean, literally, I was showing the website and some of the art, and here's the cards that you will receive in the box. Cena kindly sent me a copy, and I didn't realize it was you at first because it was like the Imposter Corporation. I got really concerned I'd been doxxed or some shit, and I opened it up and it was the board game, and I was like, oh, terrific. So what Cena's going to do right now is show us how the game works. Now, Cena, you'll have to help me a little bit with Tabletop Simulator mechanics and whatnot, but I'll do my best to showcase. Start things off for us. How does this game work?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, you have a hand of cards, and you just want to play something that's equal or higher value. That's the generic basic parts of the rules. Yeah. And if you can't play a card, you have one get out of jail free card, which is your king. You can flip your king to essentially get an extra turn. That's kind of the mechanic that resets the board.
Right.
So a lot of people have been asking who the artist is. His name is Michael Hirschon. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's
just put it in
so
chat.
good.
Actually, how me and Michael met was just on the Dota 2 subreddit. I saw some of his work.
Really?
If you haven't seen Michael Draws Dota, his artwork is fantastic. And going into the game, I knew that we wanted to have something where there would be kind of like a color scheme. As you can tell, there's a rainbow in front of you. It's supposed to start like the dregs of society are more sharp. They're more kind of jaded and darker. And then as you get towards the royalty, it gets a little bit brighter and rounder. And after seeing Mike's art and talking with him, he was really interested as well. He's been a fantastic partner throughout this. He's great. So shout out to Mike. I know he's watching. But I want to say that, so the very basics, again, is just you play a card, and then you choose, or sometimes it's mandatory to use an ability. So, for example, if you look at the princess here and hold Alt over her, she's royalty. She's a value of 9. That's the highest value. She has the ability.
I like that. That. That's the right number for the most powerful, highest number in the game. It's beautiful.
She says that you may pick a player, so you can choose someone, and if you do, both of you choose a card from your hand and swap. So this is the ability for you to kind of swap that card. And a lot of people who are gamers out there are probably thinking, well, if you have a 9, just drop the 9. It's impossible to beat, right? As I was mentioning, certain cards are better than not better, but they have abilities that help them become better. Yeah. So if you go down to the number 3 in the middle here, the Elder, you'll read her card, and she says you may play this card on any royalty. So
that's
as you
nice.
Can see, there are things that reset the board state, and as you can, as you watch us play, you'll notice that there's going to be a lot of back and forth, and a lot of games actually get down to the final 2 cards. And that's just because there are things that kind of vacillate it back and forth.
And I remember when I was playing you at first, and I would always get to a point where I realized that there was no way that I could win because I knew that you had the assassin or I had too low of a card.
Right. And speaking of which, we can talk about the assassin who's a reaction card, one of the two reaction cards, which means you can play it outside of your turn.
Yeah.
It says if a player another player flips their king, you may reveal this card from your hand to prevent their king's power and cause them to lose this round. And so, essentially, if you have the assassin, if you don't have the assassin in your hand, there's a high likelihood your opponent has it, which means that
Yeah.
you have to get rid of the assassin. There are three different ways to get rid of it in the two-player game. Just to mention, so this is the two-player set. There's actually more cards
Yeah.
than this, and for 3 and 4 player, you actually have more cards that are available to you.
Yeah, and I've
And there's
actually
nothing.
never played it as 3 or 4 player because I only have one friend at a time in my life. So,
Well, the thing that's interesting about it is that there's nothing prohibiting you from actually taking the 3 and 4 player cards and putting it into the two-player. So there's a
oh,
lot of
cool.
variability. A lot of people have been talking to me about how they've created their own decks essentially of how to play this game, and it's really fun to watch.
So
But
if I can just take a step back and just
yeah,
sort of clarify the basic arc of the game.
yeah,
You're trying to play cards one at a time. Each person is putting a card down, and all you have to do is make sure that the number is higher than the previous card that was placed. So if a 3 was placed, you can place a 4 or a 5 or a 6 or a 7. What about even numbered cards?
you
If there's a
can
3, you can't place a 3, or you can.
you can. So you're allowed to do
Right.
equal or higher value.
And so the goal is to be the last person playing the highest value, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you play the highest value card, your opponent has nothing that they can play. They can flip their king one time, and what that does
Yep.
is it disgraces the card on the throne. And what that means is the topmost card that you just played, it gets flipped over and has a value of 1. So they get an empty, it's now their turn, and they get an empty board to play on. So it's a
Nice.
comeback mechanic. It's like a, hey, get out of jail free card, but you're also letting your opponent play whatever card they want in their hand, including the Nefarious Fool, the number 1 here.
Yeah.
This is a very powerful card if you're able to play it, and it says you can choose any other card from the court that's not disgraced and put that card into your hand. So you can't take
Yeah.
the card that you just flipped over, but that was just flipped over by their king flip, but you're able to take any card and put it in your hand. And in this game, you actually get a net draw from that. You'd actually be able to have an extra card in your hand, which would be really painful if you don't have any cards, if you run out of cards, essentially. So the Fool is really powerful and dangerous in the right hands.
Well, in this case, let's. Is it now time to just do like a mock game with our
Sure.
excellent rigged decks?
Yeah, and the last thing I have to say, just because I'm
Yeah.
really passionate about it, obviously, is if you look at the Elder here and then you look at the other Elder, you notice that there's some cards that are duplicates. And
Oh
one thing that
yeah.
me and Mike did that was really fun, like if you look at the duplicate cards, they have slight subtle movements. It's kind of like card motion and design. So each of
Oh.
these different
Oh,
cards have,
that's. Ooh.
yeah, I kind of like it. And they also have different flavor text, which I demanded because I'm a huge nerd for lore. So.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
the I said that was the last thing. The actual last thing I'll say is I mentioned there's ways to dispatch the assassin. The common way is something called the Inquisitor, so the number 4.
Yeah.
The card says if you may say a card name, other players with that card in their hand must play one to their antechamber. So if I have the Inquisitor and I say the assassin, you have to play your assassin to the antechamber. And what that means is that they have to put it in front of them. And on their turn, if their turn starts and they have something in their antechamber, they must play it. So
Ah.
if you start the game with the assassin in your hand and I know it, and I throw down the Inquisitor and I say, "Do you have the assassin?" I inquisit you, and you have the assassin. Essentially, in two-player, you just have to play that card as your turn next turn, even if it doesn't fit the rules of the 2 is less than a 4. You have to play that card.
All right. All right, I'm ready to mess this up. Now we're
All
going
right.
to not play with the assassin, and I'm going to just say as a qualitative assessment, me to you, you beautiful viewer, the game is mostly about this sort of game of escalating with the numbers and trying to end with the highest value. But when it comes to the assassin, this is kind of like the hidden alternate win condition. These are kind of like the two things that feel like they're always in tension. You're always trying to think, how do I, succeed at the throne without being killed by the assassin. And this was, I think, 90% of what our games were about when you first showed me this game. So we're going to play without the assassin in the very first mock run, yeah?
Yeah, she's going to become the accused card because I have the way to. I've rigged the deck as you've mentioned. We'll show what that means.
Perfect.
We'll go through a real game and let me go ahead and take these out. These 3 cards are because of the generous support of our Kickstarter backers. There are 3 cards that are included in every deck. These are ones that are not necessarily balanced. The
Nice.
Impersonator, the Oracle, and the Elocutionist. In fact, winners of our first tournament got to design some of these cards, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
And so these are cards that you can actually use to replace cards in the deck, just like every other card. So just want to showcase the art again because I love it. So
And now also in Tabletop Simulator, I can throw cards, right? I can make
yeah,
a big mess.
yeah,
So I
exactly.
can do this.
You're doing it right. Okay,
All right,
all
perfect,
right.
perfect, perfect.
I'm gonna undo that. Just
All
so
right, nice.
go ahead and put your hand over the deck and hit the number 8.
All right, great.
That will draw 8 cards for you.
Nice.
I'm gonna do the same thing. So this is how a typical game starts. We both have a king. I'm gonna give you the true king.
Thank
And
you.
what that means is you get to choose who goes first after looking at your hand.
Okay, well,
And then
as the true king and someone who's deeply insecure, I always want to go first and lead the charge.
okay, that sounds great. And what we do here is as I mentioned, you take one card that's burned. So this is the random card that neither of us know about. So
Yeah.
neither of us know what this is. And then there's the assassin, which is the accused card. So that means that both of us can see the assassin, and we both know that in this round the assassin's not being played. Typically, this
Right.
is what happens when you're playing a real game of Imposter Kings. Now it's your choice if you want to play face up, hands face up. I think we could probably get away with playing closed hands, and we can just kind of figure it out as we go.
Yeah, well, I think
Your
that
choice.
I'll play with mine face up for the audience. And by the way, how do I move the camera in Tabletop Simulator? I know how to rotate around the center of the table, but how do I
Oh, hit spacebar to go back to neutral, and then you just use WASD.
Ah, nice. Sick. All right, so I'll go first, and I sort of have this spread of cards, and I don't know which one to play first, and I don't know if there's a recommendation that you have to just kick things off.
So yeah, before you get started, as I mentioned, you have one card that's face down, one card that's face up. We both need to discard one card from our hand. Traditionally in the game, it used to be 7 cards. Now it's 8 cards, and you have more of a versatility to choose a card that you don't want to play with. And then there's one card that's called your successor card. So this is your card that you can kind of hide away. It's like your pocket card. And what you do is you just kind of put it face down next to your king. And what happens is that card is technically not part of your hand. So if someone tries to inquisit you, you can hide that card away, essentially. It's your pocket card. Do you have the assassin? Nah, I don't have it. Like, wink, wink, right? It's in my, hit F to flip, by the way.
Nice. So I just picked a random card.
Sure. And then you go ahead and just throw one card away. So actually,
I will just pick the 7.
This one. Okay. Go ahead and put it face down on the side here. And then now you choose who goes first. If you want to go first, typically if you have like an Inquisitor, it's nice to go first, and you can kind of force out a card from my hand.
Great.
Like, for example, if you have like lots of royalty, you could get rid of the Elders, which you know are good against royalty. So you can Inquisit the royalty, or you can get rid of other cards in my hand. So yeah, I would start with maybe going first, which means that you tilt your hand.
Yeah, so at this
sorry,
point in the game, like, I'll just note to our viewers, like, these 4 cards are basically not participating in the game. And so the whole point of the deduction is, yes, you get a random shuffle, you get a random set of hands, but you know pretty immediately one of the cards that is out. You know one of the cards that neither person has seen. And then there's another card that you haven't seen that your opponent has, and vice versa. And same thing with the successor card. So let me go ahead and... does my king start rotated?
If you want to go for whoever goes first, they rotate. So you choose if you want to choose yourself. Then yeah.
So I will set down the Inquisitor and ask if you have an Elder.
I do, and that is painful for me. So what happens is that this goes on the court. This whole area is called the court, the play area.
Yeah.
The card that you just play is on top, which is the throne. So I have to beat a 4 or higher. However, since I started my turn, you called out my Elder in my antechamber. I have to play this as my turn. So now you just have to play on a 3 or higher. Like, you've made it easier for yourself, and you've gotten rid of my Elder. So you're playing my hand for me a little bit.
All right, so I am just going to play the Oathbound. It is a 6-cost card, and it can do other things, but I don't give a shit. I'm just playing it as a 6. Great.
So typically the Oathbound, if you play it on a higher value card, you can play it. You have to play a different card. So I can play this on a higher value card, but then I would have to play another card, which means that I lose cards in my hands, essentially.
Yeah, and so to briefly talk about the number of cards in hand, when we get to the end of this game, I want to talk a little bit about why it might be good to have fewer or more cards in your hand. But for now, I play a 6.
Cool. I'm going to play this 8, and this Sentry says, you may disgrace this card after playing this card to choose a card that is not disgraced or royalty, and then I can exchange a card with my hand with it. So I'm going to use this card's ability, which means I have to disgrace it, which means that now basically removed from the game, and it has a value. The throne has a value of 1, which means you can play any card you want. But I'm still going to use its ability. So its ability allows me to swap a card. I'm going to get that Elder back into my hand because I feel like I'm going to need it later on. So I'm
Yeah,
going to
and that
exchange it.
could be because my entire hand's face up, but it also could be that you're a strategic mastermind.
I actually can't remember what's in your hand. I could peek. I could probably guess that you have a bunch of. I know you have at least 1 royalty because I don't
Nice.
have any royalty. So, so I'm gonna take that Elder just to be safe.
All right, great. And
So now
so
you can play whatever card you want at this point because the card on the
mhm.
throne to use that card's power, I could either use that card as a casual 8, so a powerful 8, or I can use its ability, which would then oh no, you have the Fool.
So I can put the Fool here, which
Yeah,
is a
you sure
1,
can.
because the
Yeah.
disgrace card's a 1, and this is a 1 again. You may
Yep.
choose any other card from the court that is not disgraced, then put the chosen card into your hand. So I like that the Inquisitor was, oh god, I'm taking the whole pile, help me.
Yeah, that
How do
happens. There you go.
Oh, thank god.
Tabletop
oh.
Simulator plus physics.
That's so
it takes a
good.
little bit of intricate. Yeah.
And so I'm going
this
to take the
is-
Inquisitor back,
yeah.
because I know you took the Elder back.
Ah, gosh, that's really frustrating for me.
The one true gamer.
Oh no. Okay, this is a somewhat of a disaster for me at this point.
Perfect.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take evasive maneuvers. I'm going to use. Here's another card that again, if you decide to use its ability, it disgraces itself. And I know you don't have the Fool anymore, so it's not that bad for me to disgrace it
Yeah.
rather than using its 7. I choose a number between 1 and 8. Cards of that value lose their ability and like basically lose their card text and have a value of 3 after being played. So
Okay,
I'm gonna
okay.
choose. I'm gonna choose the number 4 and
Oh,
get
yeah.
rid of your ability for your Inquisitor to inquisit me.
Which now means that when I play this, it's no longer a 4, it's a 3, right?
Yep. Yep.
So it's just a good old 3.
And you know what? I actually have one too. So I actually hurt my own hand with that play, but it makes it so at least I have the Elder in my hands.
Yeah, because you chose the value 4 for this, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, there's no the game doesn't allow bluffing in the rules, just FYI. Answering some of the questions I see over there.
All right, so I'm just going to place the 9. Whoa.
Oh, there we go. Big 9. Would you
Big
like to
9
use
for
her
Dan.
ability?
No, I don't think I do.
So one note of hers is that it's just really interesting because obviously when you play this early, the opposing player has lots of choices of what they get to exchange with. When you get down to like I only have 2 cards in my hand, you could be like if you know what I have in my hand and like for example if I had just the Elder and you know that's the only card that would help me, this could be devastating for me as an example.
But the only other card I have in my hand is an Elder.
So I'm gonna go ahead and play my Elder on this one.
All right. Because you may play this on any royalty.
So, as I mentioned, yeah, the Elder has the unique ability to be played on any royalty. In this society, you know, the royalty is the top, except for the elders of society. So you have your own Elder. That's cool. I'm gonna play. Oh gosh. So I'm gonna do. So you can press Alt and then Shift to see what your face down card is. By the way, in case you wanted to see what you put down
nice.
there. I think I'm going to. This is a tough one. So I have 2 choices right now. I could either play the card in my hand or I can flip my king. And flipping the king would just make it so I'd get my successor card and disgrace the throne. The reason why I might do that is because maybe this card is really valuable and I don't want to get rid of it against your...
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and do that just to show how it functions.
All right, let's do it. So I flip my king. So this is my get out of jail free card, and it flips the card on the throne, so it's disgraced.
Great.
And now it's your turn, and you have basically carte blanche to play whatever you like. If you had the assassin, this would be the point in time where you'd be able to assassinate me, and I would insta lose.
Yeah. And this says you cause them to lose the round. So typically when we've played this before, the idea is that we would play multiple rounds of this game in a row, and we might do a best of 5 or a best of 7. Is there a recommended number of rounds of best of X?
Yeah, actually, so there is 7 is usually the number that you play to, and there are different scores depending on how you perform in the game. So you get 1 point for winning. You get 1 point if your king is still face up by the end of the round.
Oh, nice.
And then finally, you get 1 point if I have cards in my hand. So that's like those are bonus points. So you can get a maximum of 3 points or a minimum of 1 point by playing the game. So if you were able to, for example, throw down your queen right now and I couldn't play on it, then I would lose with 2 points or 3 points because you have your king face up. I still have cards in my hand. And so you have to kind of have to make that decision too, by the way, is like we're at the beginning of the game. You probably just want to go for simple points, but like later
Yeah.
on, like you can play that risk. Be like, oh shoot, I know I might lose this, but I can at least get 3 points, etc.
Okay, so let's actually just have me play the queen right away. I'm doing it. Bam.
Thanks for that. No.
No, no, no.
So
You're not supposed to thank me.
so I am going to play the Oathbound. So we played this card earlier. We didn't use its ability, but its
Ah.
ability reads: you can play this on a higher. You may play this on a higher value card to disgrace that card. Then you must play another card of any value. So, and it says this card's immune to the King's Hand, which is a card that we didn't get to see this round.
Yep.
But essentially, I get to play another card, but it means that I also have no cards left in my hand, which means next turn, no matter what you do, I'm going to lose. So,
Okay.
so I got out of it, but I got rid of all the cards in my hand, so that's really good for me because that's one less point for you. And now you have
So
to flip your king.
flip the king, and this comes back to my hand.
Yep. And then it's
And
my turn, and I can't play anything, therefore I've lost. And so this is a 1 point victory for you because your king is face down,
all
and
right,
I don't have cards in my hand.
Okay,
Now,
in this regard. Oh no, please go ahead. Go ahead.
if I could run that back just a second, right?
Yeah.
Like if we go back to where we were, so this
All
is
right.
where like kind of the decision making of the game comes in. You
Yeah.
still had your king face up. Sorry, I was tilted. And then you had a queen in your hand.
Mm-hmm,
Now,
mm-hmm.
let's say instead of playing the queen, you actually flipped your king too, right?
Yep.
So go ahead and
This is the. Hold on. Let me just hit my controls. This is the elder that was there. Great. So if I flip the king and I return
Yep.
this soldier to my hand.
Now I have to play a card, right? And so if I decide, and this was my hand, if I play the Zealot, which is just a 3, and I can play it on any non-royalty card if my king is flipped, and then you play the Queen, I can't play any cards, and therefore I would lose, and you would get 2 points. Because the
And
Oathbound stipulates that I have to play another card if I want to play it on a higher value card.
oh yeah, then you must play another card of any
Yes.
value. Ah, nice, 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 nice.
So in this case, you would have gotten 2 points. And also the other, like going the other way around, if I decide to play the Oathbound and then you play the Queen, the Zealot reads, if your king is flipped, you may play this card on any non-royalty card, and you happen to have a royalty on the throne, so he is a
Oh,
fanatic.
nice.
He's a fanatic for the royalty, and he would never usurp them. So,
Oh my God.
so, so if you that small decision at the end there, where if you decide to play your queen or if you decide to flip your card, really dictates like how many points you win in the round, which is
So-
kind of cool.
I have a soldier that's left over, so this would count against me having a soldier in my hand.
No,
when you
no,
can-
no. The only thing that counts for you, if you win the round, you get 1 point. That's set in stone. You get an extra point if your king is up face up, which in this case it wouldn't be, or if I have cards in my hand. So I have cards in my hand. I'm stuck
so
here.
if I win, I sort of like get a bonus win if you have cards in your hand. But my
Correct.
cards in my hand are irrelevant.
Yes, exactly. We're not going to punish you for having more cards, but yeah, like it's the opposing player. If you can kind of get them to the point where they are, and as the opposing player, for me, what I'm trying to do at this point, around like here, I knew that I was going to lose, and so in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, it's a 2 point win unless I can figure out a way to dump my hand. So
Yeah.
at this point, I was thinking about how I could dump my hand really fast. So, so yeah, it's there's a lot of interplay around the meta here. It's simple to kind of get started and just play, and which I encourage everyone if you get this game on Tabletop Simulator, purchase the game, play the 2-player game like 3 times, and you'll get the all the cards under your belt.
Yeah.
And then there's like a lot of like fine tuning in like a lifetime to master type situation, like this case where you can maximize how many points you lose or win.
And just a few note questions from chat. We have one from Scared Money Won't Make Money. Says, how large are the cards? Are they like typical playing card size?
Yeah, so these are 3 by 5 by 4, 2 by 5 inches. I don't know the centimeters, although I used to, because you have to specify those for any sort of thing. But these are normal size cards. They fit in card sleeves. I highly recommend you sleeve them, just because it's easier to shuffle, and you're going to be doing shuffling throughout the game.
Yeah.
So.
And now at this point in time, are you ready to shuffle up and play with the assassin? Are you ready to do an actual game?
I think we are ready to go. Just to answer a quick question. So this game is only in the US currently. However, please send me an email. You'll see my info, just info. It's just info@imposterkings.com, or send me a message, and I can see if there are some special cases we can make for it. It's just really hard to actually do distribution outside the United States. And then some people are not happy with Amazon feel free to also message me, and we can. And yes, Love Moth, it is coming to Canada. Actually, it's on its
Oh yeah.
way. I just had to I just had to sign a bunch of forms that said that I'm a non-resident businessman up there. So hopefully it'll
Oh
come up
yeah.
next week. But yeah, as I mentioned, I hinted at, so we have this tabletop simulator version. Sean, you're already on the website there.
Yep.
You can go to play and you can get this for free. So the game is ready to play on tabletop simulator for free. You can join our Discord and find games. I typically will play with people. There's other people who would play with it. There's also, thanks to the generous support of our backers, we also have a print and play. So you can actually print it and play it by cutting out the cards and putting them in sleeves. Highly recommend sleeves if you're going to print and play it and get thick cardboard
Yeah,
stock.
yeah.
And but just any other questions, just feel free to drop by. I'm happy to the idea is to get the game into people's hands however I can. And I appreciate the
Oh, yeah.
support from everyone who's buying this. So
Now, I'm going to be playing in a moment, and I recommend you go to imposterkings.com/play, and if you scroll all the way to the bottom where it says gallery, this is where you can like click upon and zoom in on the cards, and you're going to help me play. I'm going to play against Cena right now. Now, Cena, I need you to play kind of mediocrely, because let me tell you, I'm real insecure and I want to win, all right?
okay, sounds
Let's
good.
go. All right, let me just...
All right. The last thing I was gonna say, I can actually just oh my, thank you. Here, you might as well just flip it at this point. So before we go on, there's one card that we didn't play, which was the King's Hand.
Yeah.
In two-player, the best way to think about this is it's just a counter spell. So if you play something
Nice.
or you do something, I can just throw it out there and counter spell, and then it's just like that card never existed. So both this card and the card that was played gets knocked over to the side, gets removed from play, and then you just continue. It's your turn again. So. You can only use the King's Hand if someone chooses to use a card's ability. So just keep that in mind as well. So sometimes it's better to not use an ability if you think they're going to King's Hand you. And it stops the assassin. So here we go. Let's go ahead and take this, and here we go. We shuffle it up, and I know we've played before. It wasn't that much of a wash as you think it was, so I wouldn't be too hard on yourself.
Oh, no, I love playing it. I actually find losing to be so fun. In like board games situations, especially. All right, so 8.
Go ahead and hit 8. Yep. I'll hit 8 myself. And ooh-wee. What a hand. So one card is face up. The sentry is not in play. There's a face down card. Now you get to choose who goes first. Typically, if you have inquisitors and you have like a play like that, it's better for you to go first. If your opponent. If you feel like your opponent is, if you want them to run out of cards first, you can have them go first. It kind of just depends on your strategy.
Okay. All right. So now, in terms of the order that cards are placed down, the successor and this sort of like hidden back card.
You choose who goes first. You choose who goes first, and then we both simultaneously put down our discard and successor. It doesn't matter at that point.
Okay. I'm just going to go first for now. I think that's fine.
Okay, that seems right.
Okay, so here's where I'm going to think aloud for a moment. So I'm like, okay, so I don't have an assassin here. I also don't have a King's Hand, and those are going to be the two that I'm quite worried about.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Soldiers to say a card named opponent has the cards in their hand. This card gains +2 while on the throne, and you may disgrace up to 3 cards in the court. Now, why would I want to disgrace card because if I disgrace a card in the court, then there are other things that say interact with a card on the court that is not disgraced. So this would be like removing them from play for you, yeah?
Exactly. Yeah, there are actually 2 cases. One is that exactly what you mentioned. If I have the Fool, for example, I can't take those cards back into my hand. Yeah. Or the Mystic, if you remember what she said, one of her preconditions says if there are any disgraced cards in court, then you can use her ability. So if I have the Mystic, for example, you might not want to disgrace things because then I could start using her ability. So it's like conditional stuff, yeah.
Okay. Oh, God. All the cards are good. So, I don't know. I'll...
It's always tough.
All right, so I'm going to go first. So I'm just going to rotate this one face up so you can see it.
I didn't look, actually.
All right. Okay, let me think. All right, I'm gonna next level this. I'm next leveling this. Now, everyone,
All
I
right.
want you to remember that I placed this card as my successor and that I'm a true gamer. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go first, and
I
so
wonder
I
what
play
it
the first
is.
card. Yeah. So
Maybe it's the
I
assassin.
just play the assassin immediately. So, if something is in the antechamber, it's just guaranteed to pop down next turn, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Brilliant.
I'm presuming that that was probably the judge you were reading.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so the judge is one card where if you guess correctly what they have in their hand, then you can play a card no matter what, and then into your antechamber, and then if they play a higher value card, you can just plop your antechamber card down.
Oh,
Pretty nice.
nice. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna play the soldier, and I'm gonna name I'm just gonna name the king's hand.
I do have the king's hand, so this has a value of 7 now.
All right. Now,
Okay.
and can you show the king's hand? Can you just like flip that, just to prove that I'm like a true gamer? There it is. Nice.
Nice.
Sick.
Okay, I will then play the Mystic, which is also a 7. But I cannot use her ability because there is no disgraced cards in the deck. Or
And
in
there's
the
only
court.
one mystic, if I recall correctly, right?
There is only one. In fact, I actually gave you a little cheat sheet over there that you can.
Oh
It
yeah,
kind
I
of gives you
know.
a
I
table of
love
all.
it. So good. Oh my god,
Oh.
what a thoughtful digital host you are. Wow, I love the metaverse. By the way.
We
All
gotta
right.
do this in 3D next time with our headsets.
We need to do like a zero gravity 3D. All right. Infection Fact says, I still don't understand the no bluff rule. As in, yes, I understand it's a rule, but what is enforcing it? I
Oh.
think the answer would be you wind up revealing every single card by the end of the round. So if it turned out that you had BS'd, you'd be caught. Am I right in that, Cena?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So at the end of the round, you flip over all of these cards, and it would be pretty hard to cheat in that case because everyone knows what every card is. And trust me, after you played 3 games, I've played 6,000 games, but after you play like 4 or 5 games, actually, you'll remember every card in the deck, and it'll just be second nature to you. Be like, hey, wait a second, like oh, this must have been the face down card, or that type of stuff. So
All right. Well, I'm going to play this last Warlord for 7. It says, are there any royalty cards in the court? Do stuff. No royalty cards in the court.
I
Be
will
gone.
then play my King's Hand.
Okay.
I'm escalating with you right now, and I'm happy to escalate with you, which usually indicates I have something in my hand. I'm trying to get you to flip your king.
All right. I'm going to play the princess. Now we need to swap a card.
If you want.
No, I don't want to. I'm not going to do it.
All right, fine. I'll see that. Okay, I will. I'm going to do the Oathbound. Now, if you remember from the Oathbound, it says
Yep.
you can play this on a high value card to disgrace that card. I will do so. Then you must play another card of any value. Now, any value means that I can actually play this Fool. So the Fool allows me to take any card from the court and put it into my hand. So using this combo, I'm actually able to pick up any card I want from the court.
Now you're staying card neutral, huh?
Yep. And I'm going to grab this King's Hand.
Oh my god. All right.
However, you get to play on any value, which is nice.
I guess I'll judge you.
So judgy.
All right, is the assassin in your hand?
It is, yeah. And I mean, that's another decision point. You know for a fact I have the King's Hand in my hand because I picked it up, but you chose to try to get the assassin, and you did. So now you have more information at the risk of not getting her power.
Yeah, and if you can show the assassin just for the
yes.
sake of look at how
Or the
clean of a
viewers.
broadcast this is. Look at the production value. This is incredible. All right. Okay.
Cool. So I have the King's Hand. I have the assassin. Oh, and you can use her ability, which I would recommend doing based on what you've just heard from my. So you can put any card you want into your antechamber, or you can choose not to. It's up to you.
All right. So I'm putting the
Okay.
zealot.
So now, no matter what, next turn you get to play the Zealot for free.
I'm
and
doing it.
This is kind of painful for me because now the only cards I
Oh.
have in my hand are very high level cards. So I have to play this 8, and now
All
you
right.
get to
Now I get to
that
play a
3
3.
right
Great.
off of it. Oh my goodness.
Fantastic.
All right. I am going to play this queen. So the queen says you must disgrace all other cards in court. So the queen comes in and she says, no, everyone who's talking are idiots. I'm the real person. So I'm gonna drop the 9
Oh,
there. Oh
oh
my
wait,
goodness,
shit.
you have the elder.
Yeah, I have an elder.
Oh, well, that takes away from my 3-point victory. I have to now flip my king because you know the last card I have in my hand is a 2 and I
Oh
can't play it on
wait,
a 3.
and literally I'm forced to flip now, which means I lose.
Correct. So I
Oh
did get you
fuck.
at the end of the day.
Fuck. All right, so I
And then,
flip the
what you
king.
do in Tabletop Simulator, if for all of you who are watching, you're supposed to spin the card in your hand as he's flipping it, and then you're supposed to flip it and throw it at him. So, production value.
Oh my god. No, I thought about it backwards because I was like, because if I flip my king and then I have the Inquisitor, then I can catch you. And like literally, I can never flip this because you have the assassin. I'm
You had
so
the
dumb.
Inquisitor. Oh, and then the burn card was the Inquisitor. So I thought you had 2 Inquisitors. I was ready to King's hand those Inquisitors,
Fuck.
but they never came.
No, because here's what I thought. I've played against Cena before. Now go ahead and take this assassin back for a moment. So
Yeah.
I played with Cena before, and Cena has done things where he's put his successor card as the assassin. So it's one of these situations where I'm like, do you have the assassin? And then you say, no, I don't. And what I thought I was going to do is the instant you said, no, I don't, I was going to flip my king to get my Inquisitor. And then I would know that whenever this flipped, I would Inquisit it.
That's right. That's a very smart play. It didn't work out for you this time, but that's actually very smart because a
Fucking
lot of people
hell.
do hide their assassins, and then what you do is you use your card to say, "Do you have the assassin?" I say no, and then you immediately flip, and then at that point the assassin is useless because you've already flipped your king, and so I can't use her
Yeah,
very
and
well.
that was like the assassin. You're like, I do. I was like, oh my god, oh my god. All right, so
Oh
so
my
I
goodness.
lost that game by 2 points or 1 point.
This is a 2-point hand because you still had cards in your hand, or you had a successor essentially at that point. And so, as long as you have a successor or cards in your hand, it's a point. And then I won. If
Got
that's
it.
a point. I had to flip my king, however, so I only got 2 points there. So I take 2 of these little thingies, put them over
Oh, they're
here.
so cute.
Yep.
Of course,
You can
I can
also
easily just knock those off.
you could easily just knock those off. I think another fun thing that people do is grab one of these marbles, and then you could just flick them at the. When I play with people who
God,
are
so good.
who take their time in their turns, you'll see me bowling ball quite a lot over here. Just
Awesome.
to mess around. But shall we go for another?
Oh, we so shall.
All right, let me grab all these cards. So you just hit G to group them all together. Give some tabletop simulator hints for everyone who's watching. Hit some R. Oh, I was gonna shuffle a little bit more. I don't
Oh.
think I shuffled it in time. Let me just.
All right. Oh yeah, that's
sure.
right. This is highly realistic.
There we go.
And what's the shuffle button?
Shuffle is R.
I too can hit the button.
All right, now go ahead and grab 8.
All right, we're grabbing 8.
So since you lost last round, you get to choose. You have the true king. So the loser gets to have the true king, and the true king just dictates who goes first.
Nice.
Wow, this hand is. It's really funny. My co-commentator during the tournament said it best, which is you're looking for those dumbbell hands, those ones that have like good lows and good highs, because the lows are just as important as the highs.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and flip over here. The Mystic is out of play this time.
Okay.
And while we're thinking, I was just going to answer. I think Michelle asked what board games inspired the design. Certainly, Love Letter is one of my favorites. It's definitely like a really fun pickup game, Love Letter. But I wanted to have more player agency. So that did inspire this. Coup, the artwork is somewhat Coup-like, but really it was just the thesis of can I create a quick, fun game that removes a lot of luck. And in the tournament, it was really fun to see, like the strengths of the players. You can, in their play style differs, and you can see like people who are playing stronger are typically winning, and they have a winning strategy that they like to employ, and you can counter that strategy. So, all right, let's see here. I think I am going to
All right.
do that, and I'm gonna do.
I guess I'm fucking doing this shit. I think this is it.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Oh, do you have an image? Oh, look at you. Look at you're so cool.
What?
Look at your image. It's your cool tough guy image. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's,
Wow.
That's from Natural Selection 2. The limited edition.
Oh.
Back in
Oh
the day.
yeah. Oh,
Throwback.
Natural Selection 2 is such a good game. Okay, so all right. Do you have the assassin?
I do not, and now I'm suspicious. I'm immediately suspicious.
Wait, what do you mean?
I mean, why would you ask for the assassin? Okay, I think you might have it, but you know what? That's okay. What I'll do is I will use the judge.
All right.
And I could use this to ask for the assassin, but what I'm going to do is I really want to use her ability, so I'm going to do something that I think you have to have in your hand. And
Yeah.
so I don't have any elders in my hand. I feel like you have to have an elder, and I feel like if you saw what I had in my hand, you would have kept those elders. Okay,
There it
so you
is.
do have the elders. So now I can place something in my antechamber, which means it'll be played no matter what next turn. I will put the Inquisitor in there, and you
All
can
right.
bet your bottom dollar what that Inquisitor is going to be inquisiting.
All right. Very well. All right. Do you Jesus. So wait. With the Inquisitor, wait, how does this work?
So you can play your soldier, but next turn, no matter what, I'm playing it. So even if you guess
Oh,
correctly,
I'm sorry, I got confused because it is playing. Okay.
yeah. So that's why it's out here. So it stays out here. This is like my next turn. This is the antechamber area. This little area in front of me. So if I have something at the start of my turn that's in my antechamber, I have to play it. So
All right. Do you have the Queen?
I do.
All right,
And
it's a
if you'd
7.
like, you can disgrace cards on the throne, or the court if you'd like, up to 3.
Sure, why not? I'll
You can do
disgrace
'em-
everybody.
You can even do it all if you want,
Yeah,
because
why not? Because this is coming out.
all right.
There she is.
I wasn't even gonna say the assassin.
Dude, no, but like everyone saw me be like, "Do you have the assassin?" You're like, "I'm really suspicious. I think you have the assassin." I was like, "Oh fuck, I already look like an idiot." There it is. There's my assassin.
I was gonna say the elder, but I'll take the assassin, sure. I had
All
another
right.
plan for the assassin. I had the king.
No. Like, we have to
All right.
reward that read.
Okay, sure. I will take the assassin. So now it's in your antechamber, which means that you have to play it on your next turn. So now it's your turn. You have to play the assassin,
All right.
regardless of value.
Boop.
I have another one of these. So this is the power of the Inquisitor, is the fact that you can dictate how your opponent plays. I think you have an Elder. I'm going to force out the Elder. Yep. Or I know you have an Elder. So now on
Yeah.
your turn, you play it again. And now I got an empty board to play on. I'm going to... you know what? I'm going to put some pressure on. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Queen down, who disgraces all cards in the court. And you have another Elder!
I'm another elder. GG.
Well played. All right. I will then play the Warlord. So the Warlord reads, if there are royalty in the court, this card gets a +1 in your hand, so it would be an 8 typically. So I can play it on an 8 if you had royalty in the court, and then an additional +1 value after being played. So after being played, it's now a 9. So it acts like royalty. It's not actually royalty, so you can't play an Elder on it, but because there's a Queen in the court, it's now a 9.
Okay, so this means that I then flip the king.
Yeah, probably. Cool. I now, and this disgraces, I now have a choice to either play, because you flipped your king, this disgraces. So I get an empty board, but I have the choice to either flip my own king or to play a card. Now, if I was to guess what you had in your hand, I think you have an 8. I don't know what your other card would be. So knowing that information, I'm a little worried about the 8 because it can use its ability to exchange a card. So I'm going to just flip my king as well. So I've lost the point, but I'm playing more safe, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. So then I will play just a 6.
Ah, the 6. You had the Oathbound. All right.
Yeah.
Now I want you to lose with a card in your hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Princess.
Oh,
And
no.
just in case, I don't think you have anything that can beat the Princess, but just in case, I'll force us to swap cards because I know the card in my hand can't beat the Princess. And this is what I was talking about: is
Oh, yeah.
if you have the Princess and they only have one card in their hand, you're getting whatever they have. And so in this case, this helps me win because I know for a fact you cannot play that 8 on this 9.
Oh, my God. I've lost again.
That's, I mean, another 2-point victory. Not too shabby. Go ahead and take those.
How do
We're
I
at
make a
4.
marble?
Here's a marble for you.
Thank you.
But you go to you go to objects, components, and then marbles. I gotten really good at finding things. Oh, nice.
Oh my God, I didn't even knock him over. This is the most significant drubbing I've ever received. All right,
I can change the gravity. Don't worry.
let's play a final game.
All right.
Final game. This is perfect.
Okay, let me shuffle it up. And yeah, go ahead and grab 8.
Oh, wait. All right. And then we got to come up with a quote.
Oh, yes.
All right. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Okay. I will go first. Let me rotato potato.
Only if you want to go. You don't even know. You haven't looked at your cards yet. You don't know if
That's
you want to
right.
go first.
I mean,
You
that's
just
the thing.
you're
I don't,
believing in the heart of the cards.
I don't know what I would want to want. So this is...
Okay, this is interesting.
I definitely don't want this fucking card. Fuck this fucking card. Oh, shit. All right. Scary Money says Magic players always play first. That's me. All right.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Okay. Fuck. Jesus. Fuck. All right.
This game wasn't supposed to be like this.
No, this is tough.
We can also you can. By the way, there is one free mulligan in the actual rules. So if you wanted to mulligan,
No,
we can
no,
just do
no.
that.
I wanna do it properly.
So I got a pretty vicious hand. I'm looking at my. I just realized what's going on here. I have a bright hand, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to play the soldier. I'm going to declare something. I don't know what I'm going to declare yet.
Play that hard assassin read again.
Yeah, do you have the assassin?
I don't.
Jesus. All right.
Do you have the assassin?
No.
Okay. Now both of us feel like we can safely flip our kings. Although if you flip your king right now, I'd be very suspicious and probably inquisitive that assassin. But at least neither of us have it in our hands right now.
Dude,
Or-
I'm doing that play. I'm doing that play. All right. Flip
Okay.
the king. All right.
Okay, so flipping the king causes the throne card to flip as well. Do you have the assassin?
No.
Oh my gosh. Well, either I'm playing like 9D chess and I have it as my successor, which would mean it's useless because your king is already flipped, or it's actually the face down card. Or you threw it away, or I threw it away. Did I throw it away?
Oh. This is too many gamers. All right, so I'm going to play the Oathbound.
Cool.
All right.
I'm going to play this. I'm going to quickly just remember what I had thrown away. Oh, you know what? Actually, this doesn't help me that much. I could choose to use your ability, or I can just use it as a 7. I'm actually just going to use it as a 7.
Okay. Jay Pants, is you looking for backseating? Oh, dude, backseat away. Now, Cena, minimize the chat.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. All right.
Just to give you, like, so what I'm indicating with my abilities is essentially I'm trying to squeeze you. I have high level cards in my hand, so I'm going to try to just bludgeon you with them.
All right, there it is.
We'll play an 8.
Okay. Play a 3.
You have the Zealot, Fanatic.
I did it.
All right,
I'm resetting it.
Cool. What else do you have? Do you have another Oathbound, maybe? Oh man, I should have used my Mystic to get rid of Oathbounds. That would have been the smarter play. 3 cards in your hand, 2 in mine. I will just play this other 8.
Now let's see here.
Oh shoot, I just realized something. Oh
Okay,
no.
I think I did it. I think I did it.
Maybe. We'll see.
All right. I am going to play the Oathbound.
Okay.
And then it reads, you may play this on a higher value card to disgrace that card. Then you must play another card of any value. So I'm going to play the Inquisitor and say, do you have the princess?
Oh my goodness me. Wow, what a play. Shoot.
Gamer. Yes.
I do have the princess, so I have to play her. I cannot use her ability because she doesn't have any.
Oh
You
my
play your
god, and then I'm going to
queen.
play the queen. Dish, dish,
That
dish,
destroys
dish, dish.
everything.
Yeah.
But I still have my king, so I'm gonna flip my king.
Oh shit, you didn't flip yet? Oh fuck, man. Oh, it sucks so much. Oh shit, I miscounted the
Now,
cards.
I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. One of the things that was really
Oh,
good about
rats.
this, one of the things that was really smart about what you did, I had a 3-point win right there. Like I was going to just end it, get 7 points, and win the entire match. But what you did there is you forced me to play the
Elders.
cards. You forced me to play cards, so that way you play the princess or the queen as your last card. Now I don't, instead of getting 3 points, I actually only end up with 1 point. Like you definitely played that correctly, where I should have gotten 3 points that hand. I misplayed, and you took advantage of it and got me down to 1 point, which it's still not a win. I get that feels,
All
but
right.
like you did a really good job to stop me
Well, in
essentially.
that case, let's play one more round. I'm
Okay.
ready. It's too easy to just keep playing round after round. Shuffle it, shuffle it. All right. I'll go first before I've seen my cards.
I'll just go ahead.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is, I mean, some of these
Let's
cards are just way
let's
too difficult
let's
for me.
let's reshuffle this one. I feel like I've been getting some ridiculous cards, and plus I feel like it was very okay.
Oh,
All right,
sorry.
that's one way to do it.
Shit, no!
Fine.
All
They're
right, all
gone
right, all right, all
forever.
right.
And it's actually why we introduced the mulligan rule in competitive. You have one free that you can do, and then every additional one you take during the match, it costs you 2 points. And sometimes people even still take the the 2 point loss just because they are
Because their
okay
hand
with
sucks.
losing. Yeah, but
All right.
all right, let's try this again. Maybe I should have drawn first. That's the key. All right, I think this is a okay hand.
What are common hands to or common cards to just ditch? Is one of
So I see
these
one
ones over
Oathbound
here?
Tier already here, but I think so you probably, based on the cards that I have, if you have that 6-1 combo, it's a really strong one to keep. That allows you to play your Oathbound on a higher value card and then immediately play your Fool to pick up any card from the deck, where that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah.
So a lot of times people ditch the soldier. People undervalue the soldier. I really like the soldier in combination with the judge. So I call it the battery. If you play the judge for your first thing and you call out what they have in their hand, then you play the soldier next. It's really painful for them. If you have a royalty in your hand, I play risky. So my playstyle, and everyone hates this who I play with, my playstyle is I usually either ditch the elder if I have a royalty, unless I really need it, because the king flip is good enough, and soldiers. Those are like the two I typically. But it's really difficult to say what you should do. It just depends on
Oops.
what your strategy is. That card that I just saw was the Zealot. Zealot's
Yeah.
really good to have as your successor because its ability only comes into play after you flipped your king. So.
All right. Well, that sounds like a really good bit of advice. So I guess I'll.
The first player to answer infected, the first player does have a disadvantage naturally, but the person who gets the cards gets to choose who goes first. And so it's kind of a comeback mechanic if you lose.
That's the only reason I've been losing. I can tell.
And sometimes you do want to go first if you have Inquisitors, because you can just back to back just start playing their hand for them and getting rid of all the like important cards. Like for example, if you have the Assassin and they have a King's Hand, you're like, okay, I'll go first. I'll play the Inquisitor. I'll get the King's Hand out of their hand, and then that way they can't use it against the Assassin. So there's like a lot of, and I keep saying the question, is there a reason for the coloration of numbers? Not really. The difference is duplicate cards have different colors, so you can identify them. So, for example, there's 2 7s. I'll just show you. There's 2 7s. One's black, one's white. There's no difference in gameplay, but it's just if you stack them up, you could be like, oh yeah, the Mystic is always black, the Warlord's always white. That just lets you like identify them. It's just a small design thing.
All
Okay,
right.
let me go ahead and play my successor here. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Play Risky Jutsu. Am I gonna play Risky Jutsu? I am not gonna play Risky Jutsu. I'm gonna play nice and easy. I'm gonna play Mind Games with you. All right,
Yeah, mind game me.
Mind Game you. Yeah,
Hit it.
gamer. All right, it's your turn.
That's right. I go first. Nice. All right. I'm gonna judge and be like, I don't know what the correct order for the combo is with the judge soldier.
The battery.
Yeah, the
I'm
battery.
the only person who calls it that, by the way.
Yeah, that's good. That's how terms are created. So what's the order to do the battery? How do I battery you? Say
You
I
have to
want to.
guess correctly something in my hand. So I would do, you can have a choice. You can use it to get info about my hand, or you can try to do something for sure. Now, if you don't have any sevens in your hand, there's a good chance I have one of those sevens. Like I wouldn't successor it. Or if you think I have an
Yeah.
Inquisitor in my hand, or a Princess, or a Queen, like, any of those, like, those are common cards that don't get succeeded.
All right, yeah, do you
Um,
have princess?
I do have the Princess. So now you can you can play any card you want to your antechamber that's value 2 or higher. So you can throw your soldier down into your antechamber. And what that means is that I now have to play on top of a 5, but no matter what, next turn you're going to be able to play your soldier. So it's really
Oh
painful for
yeah,
me.
I see.
So
Nice.
I play the 7 and I'm like, okay, cool. I can't use her ability. You play your 5 and now it's back to 5, but you got that 5 out and now I'm going to be pressured again to play another 7.
Yeah, because I can actually just name the princess again.
Oh yeah, you sure could.
Right? So I can name the princess. So now this is a 7. Yeah.
Yeah, yep, exactly. And you can choose to disgrace things. I wouldn't, because you probably have the Fool in your hand, and I probably have the Mystic in my hand. And my Mystic is only valuable if I can play it on a disgraced court, a card that's disgraced.
Nice.
So I will play my Mystic. I cannot use her ability because, as I was just mentioning, it says if there are any disgraced cards in court. So I'm not even able to use her ability. Bummer.
So let's see here.
I just added this in Tabletop Simulator too. If you just
So
hover
if-
over the card,
if-
it also gives you tips.
So if I do the Oathbound,
Ah, cool.
this flips, right?
No, this flips over here.
Oh,
The
that
card you
one
played
fucking
on.
flips.
Yeah.
Ah.
So
And then
you
if I
wanna-
play the Fool,
Yeah.
then in this order, then I can exchange and grab this one. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so you grab the Warlord.
Now, I don't know why. I feel like it would probably take me 10 or 20 games to start sensing patterns and strategies.
I am going to play the Inquisitor, and I'm going to say, Sean, do you happen to have the Warlord in your hands?
Oh my god, I do.
Okay, and you got to play it on your turn.
Great. So I do.
And you know what? I think this is too rich for my blood, so I'm going to flip my king.
And then this is disgraced.
Yep.
And then I'm like, that's too rich for my blood. And I'm going to...
Oh, I waited until your Fool was out before flipping my king, just because if I flip my king and disgrace the card, you can play the Fool on it and get a card advantage, which is detrimental because the Fool gives you a card. So now that the Fool's out, I'm like, okay, I'm going to flip my king. Now you flipped your king, and I'm going to launch this assassin at you. I assume you have a king's hand to
I have the
stop
king's
it.
hand. Yep.
Yes. All right, so it just assumes like these cards were not played. So just toss them over here on the side, technically
Yeah,
face
so
down.
this is reaction. Yep.
Yep.
You condemn
So-
this card. All right, so then it's boom.
Yep, and condemn keyword is the same as antechamber, except you don't play the cards; they just go to
Yeah.
the side. So, essentially, nothing happens, and now it's your turn again. Or sorry, it's my turn again. I will
Yep.
choose to good parry of my assassin. I thought you didn't think I had it.
I did it. I did it.
All right, now I
I
have to
learned
wonder:
from the best, Cena.
do you have a like? My question to me myself is: do you have a queen? I can try to draw it out with the sentry, so I'm going to do that. But I just also realized, I mean, I know this information. Do you have? You probably have, you showed me you had a zealot. Okay. So now I'm
Right.
in a bit of a pickle.
I'm the zealot.
Okay. I will play. This almost was a 2-point hand for me, but I outplayed myself here, which is I play the princess, and I can use her ability to swap a card. However, the card I have in my hand is an elder, so it would actually let you play it anyways.
Well,
so it doesn't matter if I swap or
don't
not.
don't I still lose this though because I play the
You do.
queen and then you play the elder?
Exactly. Yep.
Ay, man. Going second is overpowered, man.
From the tournament, looking at the stats, I believe it was people who went second won 55 to 60% of the time. So it is a slight advantage to go second.
And that's the only reason we lost today.
That's exactly, yeah. But it's still a 1-point hand, so I'm, cusping on 6. Yeah. So
Well,
I
awesome.
appreciate you playing this with me. I love playing it.
Oh yeah,
so
look. I got the promo code up there. You can go to bit.ly/day9kings. And this is also the reason why in Steam I've changed my ID to Imposter King. It's
Yeah,
just to
that was-
continue to plug Cena's game.
It was pretty funny when I all of a sudden saw that Imposter Kings in all caps was,
Yeah. I mean, I
so
made it singular because it's just me, but thanks so much for joining us, Cena. And
yeah.
once again, in case any of you are curious about hopping into the website to get more information, to be able to also download it on Tabletop Simulator for free, you can go to imposterkings.com. And it has the beautiful artwork illustrated there with some darling videos. And did Mima do the the videos? Did Shane do
He,
these?
he sure did.
Oh, yeah, look, here's
There,
some of these beauties.
Shane sure has a knack for design, and Michael Hirschon has a knack for just character design as well. So I've been very blessed to have people who brought this to life, and so I appreciate both of them immensely. And as I mentioned, you can feel free to just join the Discord. It's on the website, and just
Oh,
ping
yeah.
me. I'm at Sinbu. Happy to play games, happy to talk about it, and we should be having a tournament again soon. There's also maybe hints of an expansion, but always you can always
You've ruined yourself. Why would you tease anything?
well because I want hype.
Oh,
Part
that's
of it,
right. Hopefully that means it's literally completed. I'm
I
like,
have
oh no, Cena.
I have a variant out right now, which is actually a deck builder, which is kind of fun. So I mean, anyone who's
Oh,
interested in that type of big brain stuff, I'm happy to share with. But
wrinkly
other than
brain
that,
people here.
I think we had some really good quotes at the beginning. I wonder if we can get some similar quotes because they were quite good. And yeah, as Ghost Stalker mentioned, you can always play for free on Print and Play or Tabletop Simulator thanks to the backers of our Kickstarter. So I hit a tier where I was able to be self-sufficient. Really happy.
Here's your quote. Are you ready for the quote?
Yeah.
Every time we finish a round, I always want to play another.
Oh,
How about that?
was a good quote.
That's what was happening today. Is I was like, all right, let's do one. Okay, no, one more. Okay, no, one more. Okay, no, one more. So there you go. That's your quote.
All right, let me just pop that in real fast.
Yeah. Oh, is it gonna load live?
Oh yeah.
Guys, we're minting a quote on air. Here it is.
All right, let me let's get it one more time.
All right. Oh God, no! I did it really good the first time. Someone
really
find
good.
a clip. Someone find a clip. Find a clip and paste it in chat. Yeah, no, I said it right the first time. I think it was every time we finish a round, I always want to play another. It's a good one. It's the quote of the day. Is that what I said in the first place? I don't know. But look,
finish a round, I always want to play another. And how would you like to be attributed? Day bracket 9?
yes.
All right, go ahead and kick the cache and refresh that.
Oh
just
shit! Oh,
Control F5.
here it is.
Moment of truth. Did it happen?
Oh my God! And that low, look at that. It's beautiful. Well, my dumb face is covering it up on the screen. Hold on, let me. Yeah, there it is. Oh yeah. Every time I finish around, I always want to play another. Oh yeah, there it is. Hell yeah. Yeah, you see,
Awesome.
you need to create a spot for my face cam on the website.
Oh, yeah, I'll take a screenshot and just have it be static right above on the website.
There it is. Yes.
I'll be like, why is this here?
I'm like looking at my quote. Oh, it's perfect. Well, dude, Cena, thank you so much for showcasing the game on here, and I hope that everyone live purchased the game. Can we see a show of hands if you bought the game while on air? We'd love to see that. We'd love to see that. As you know, I'm a big believer and supporter of people that are doing independent game endeavors. And it's lovely to play a game that's also really fun. Oh, it's so good. Because let me tell you, sometimes I fire up a game and like 1 hour in, I'm on air and I'm like, guys, this sucks. We're going to go back to playing Magic.
Well, I'm glad I fit that litmus test. That was great.
Well, hell yeah.
And yeah, for people who are outside of the United States, again, just email me and I'd be happy to assist, see if I can get you a copy. There's always Tabletop Simulator, always the print and play. So yeah, feel free. Very happy and thankful for all the support I've gotten. Appreciate everyone who's joined us today.
Hell yeah. Oh my God. Seen a professional broadcaster, Simbu, man, sneaking in with a beautiful closer. Couldn't have said it better. And so in that regard, I'm going to hang up on you. Bye.
All right, see ya.
Thanks, man. Cheers. Well, that was lovely. That was absolutely lovely. Where am I? I'm over here. Ah, yes. It is dimmed, in large part due to daylight savings, but also due to the passage of time. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to be dipping out for the day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go eat dinner, I'm going to go hang out. And then tomorrow morning, we are going to be doing the final run of the Disturbance in Day 9 TV Town right here from this computer in this office that's not mine. Look forward to having all of you join in there.